most profitable opportunity.
Oh!
He got me a little irritated. What do he want to do that I can't do better?
How are we talking about somebody that ain't even fought in the division? How did he just jump from there to there? Don't ask me about Crawford.
I guarantee you once I start laying these hands on him, he gonna think twice.
Terence Crawford has now welcomed a potential mega fight versus Gervonta Tank Davis. No knock to Tank, but there's definitely levels. If he's thinking he's gonna knock Terence Crawford out, he's got another thing coming. Terence Bud Crawford says no to Boots Ennis, who is in the same weight class. However, he's willing to fight Gervonta Tank Davis, who is a 135-pounder. Facepalm. Yo. What if Terence Crawford fights Tank, Jamel, and then Canelo and retires and beats all of them? No knock to Tank, but there's definitely levels. If he's thinking he's gonna knock Terence Crawford out, he's got another thing coming. I'd stay at 147 pounds for him. That's a big money fight, but nobody's gonna give me credit. Tank's like 5'5". He's a little guy. Tank allegedly too small for 140, but now niggas are talking about him fighting Terence Crawford. That's why I take none of you seriously. Roberto Duran would have fought Crawford at 147 and Jamel at 154. No rehydration clauses. Shut that nonsense up about Tank beating Bud. That man ain't built like Duran. As much as I F with Tank and believe he can win, Crawford is a different animal, and he showed that when he dominated Spence. Tank has to really fight to beat Bud because he can't rely on points, and as far as searching for the KO, Bud is a master counter puncher. We'll see. The boxers that bring out the in America, in no particular order: Gervonta Tank Davis, Saul Canelo Alvarez, Errol Spence, Showtime Terence Crawford, Deontay Wilder. He brings out the fine cougars. If you know, you know. Yo. Tank will get mauled by Spence, and you want to give him Crawford? LOL. Zero belief. Tank is coming off a 1.2 million pay-per-view, Crawford 700k. I'd rather see Crawford Tank for the welterweight title than the Spence Crawford rematch at 154. Let's keep the Spence rematch and do this. Shakur versus 135. Shakur versus Tank is Crawford versus Spence all over again. Everyone who knows boxing knows Tank Davis will get outclassed and stopped due to an accumulation of punches by Shakur Stevenson. It will be so bad that the Tank will no longer be marketable. Shakur, you're a big bone guy. You have a body like Duran and Crawford. You need to go up to 140. PBC will never let Tank fight you or Martin or Lomachenko. He's concerned about what's going on in his country. So my opinion, go to 140 where you have Henny, Tio, so many at 140, not with PBC. I was shocked when I heard it, but I get it. Tank is one of the biggest attractions in the sport, and Crawford's core audience has been supporting Tank as well. Tank's name rings aloud everywhere because they are familiar with him. After talking about Spence, what else are they asking? Shakur is making 272,828 tweets a day with visible frustration because he can't get any fights. Pretty sure he's free and possible to put Tank against him, which is way more reasonable. Otherwise, put Tank against Crawford if you love catch weights and super fights that much. The difference is Crawford will annihilate Tank. They didn't seem to make that clear. I find it a bit disappointing. Crawford was a lightweight, and the Crawford camp and many knowledgeable people felt Spence was too slow. Tank is younger and faster than Spence, and we know he can hit. This person has faith. He's not fighting Shakur. He's not fighting Crawford. We already know that. Unless they change their name to Lopez or Diaz or something like that, Tank only fights guys with Hispanic surnames. It's funny. What fight has Tank had at 147 for niggas to be talking about him fighting Crawford? That's a reply to a tweet that said, Shakur nice, but how many fights has he had at 135 to prove himself enough to fight the undisputed champ, bro? Make it make sense. So just the back and forth between these two. Of course, he ain't gonna call that stupid, even though Inoue versus Tank is more idiotic than Tank versus Crawford. Tank has a chance versus anyone at 135 to 147. He is that good. It's simple. Boots isn't going to draw the same bag as Tank will. Crawford is at the end of his career and has been denied these big money fights until now. Why take less money at this point in his career when every time you step into the ring you're risking a loss? That was a reply to an original tweet that talked about Terence Bud Crawford says no to Boots Ennis, who is in the same weight class. Tank Davis, who gets hit in all his fights. Santa Cruz, who was a midget moving up, hit him easily till the KO. A bomb like Romero was all over him till he got stopped. How in the world will he be able to beat a world-class, technically skilled fighter in Terence Crawford? That's easy money. Tank's gone KO Inoue and move up and fight Crawford. True, but he's fought nobody who is as accurate as Shakur, someone who's gonna hit you in the perfect spot, and Shakur spars with Crawford on a consistent basis, so he knows exactly how to hang with the bigger, stronger guys, and that's not even bringing up the preparation for Tank. Okay. If Crawford was at 135, Tank wouldn't even fight him. Why is Tank in these fantasy matchups when the guy hasn't even fought nobody in his weight class? Crawford is too big for Tank. Tank pound for pound great. LMAO. Fight Crawford, Tank. Well, this person seems to have no faith in Tank Davis. Zero faith. None. Not even a drop or a droplet of faith he doesn't have in Tank Davis. People would absolutely accuse Bud of bullying a smaller guy if he fought Tank. Crawford should hope Charlo upsets Canelo and make the Charlo fight. Every other possibility would do nothing for his legacy. Bullshit. Tank is more skilled and faster than Spence with a bigger punch for his size, and most importantly, Shakur don't hit like Crawford. Tank beats him rather easily. Tank Crawford would never happen. Speaking of it as a potential fight shows your lack of IQ. This person is swinging for the fences. Tank is great, but because of his lack of height and his style of staying outside waiting to counter his opponent, Crawford with his long reach will pick Tank apart, and if Tank changes up and becomes aggressive, it will be suicide. Tank can fight Crawford, I'll never oppose it, says another person. Tank ain't gonna come forward and try to pressure Shakur like how Spence tried against Crawford. Tactics. I don't know. I don't see Tank backing down from anyone. Crawford seems like he intentionally avoiding boots. Tank and Spence don't even fight the same. Tank can counter punch and fight off his back foot. We've seen Spence just pressure Crawford with no other game plan. You've never watched Tank be a one-trick fighter. Plus, who says Shakur has power like Crawford? Tank Inoue Nesser. Listen, I don't know this language, but so if you speak it, sounds like French. On plat Gemma, on pas avant. Listen, man, if you know this language, just probably help me translate in the comment section. Thank you. Weight will play a huge part in this if this was to happen. Two crazy IQs. I think it will be all about who can capitalize on what they are trying to do. Tank got to find a way inside, and Crawford can't let Tank inside. It will be crazy. Tank 5'5" with 67-inch reach. Crawford 5'8" with 74.5-inch reach. He's stronger, bigger, and faster while fighting southpaw, but really right-handed. He picked Crawford to lose and lost money on the fight, just like Leo Charlo. Now they're talking shit because I bet they won't fight Crawford. I love Tank, but Crawford easily. Tank is scared of the killers in his division. Tank ain't beating Bud. He hasn't fought anyone like Bud Crawford. Easy win for Crawford. If you say Tank, go get help ASAP. Nigga. Crawford gonna walk right into a KO. Tank is accurate as... Tank gotta choose. Either go down for the jab or move up for Crawford. That is, either go down for Inoue or move up for Crawford. I'm not even a Tank fan, but you're disrespecting Tank crazy. Tank ain't Spence. Shakur ain't Crawford. I don't even have to explain the differences. Tank is damn near 30 and will always be marketable. He's basically the people's champ, just like Spence is to his community. Tank's not faster, he's not stronger, he's not bigger. Tank gets beaten 10 times out of 10 against Crawford. It was Canelo yesterday, now it's Tank. Crawford beat a post-crash Spence. It's not all that. People sleep on Tank's boxing IQ. Crawford is like that, but MFers drunk if you think he's walking Tank the way he did Errol. Adrian Bronner, what do you have to say? Nothing. If you think Crawford can beat Tank, you don't know boxing or don't have enough common sense.
You kidding me right now?
Gamboa almost put Crawford down at 140. Tank is way stronger than Gamboa. Same Tank who brought Ryan down to 135 and imposed a rehydration clause. He will never fight Crawford at 147. Tank is the most overrated fighter in history. Yeah, his knockouts are cool looking, but he's not even the top fighter in his division. How the F is he going to compete with Crawford? Tank allegedly too small for 140, but now niggas are talking about him fighting Terence Crawford. This is why I take none of you seriously. I think I've read this before. This person has no faith. Tank needs to fight Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, or Teofimo Lopez. Hell, let's see the Lomachenko fight. Nobody asked for this Terence Crawford fight. Tank, Boots, Thurman, Rocha, Zhu, Chalo, Ortiz, Ben, Fundora, Zabinek, Adams. These are the names Bud Crawford would need to beat in order for me to consider him an all-time great. 100%. Says the real Brock Lesnar. Okay, that's not the real. He's 100% correct too. Crawford going and whoop up on Tank, and Floyd gonna use the same excuse he's using for Errol. You know, talking about Errol Spence should be fighting at 160. If he ends early, it's cause Tank did it to him, and by early I mean 8 to 9 rounds because they both collect data and start slow. But if it's a boxing match, I'd go Crawford. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe.